everybody, and welcome back to another Minecraft Survival Let's Play episode. My name is Ramses, and we're in my house right now with a brand new friend. I found a name tag, and I named him Bartleby. This is Bartleby the Parrot. Or is he a parakeet? I feel like he might be a parakeet. I don't know. Regardless, his name is Bartleby, and that is very exciting. There is something else very exciting right now that I need to show you guys. Not in the house. It is outside of the house. So I've been working on two things actually. One, I added these path blocks and these rocks around our tree because I thought they would look good. Before, the tree didn't have those, and now it does. Anyways, I've been working on the tunnel down to the spider farm. I changed kind of the location of the tunnel and where it starts. We need to create we need to connect the path, like maybe from over here and then up, basically where you see these torches, that will lead us to how we get into the tunnel to the spider farm. And I've done a lot of work on there, kind of making it look nice and doing some terraforming. And my goal was to make it look like a lush cave, like a natural cave that was green and lush. So as we head down here, you'll see lots of leaves. I added in some fence posts, grass and moss stone and cobblestone walls and lots different of all my favorite gray blocks, because you know how much I love the gray blocks. And we'll talk about what's down here in just a moment. I left this open for a very specific reason, but we'll look in here real quick and take a look. I really like this cave. I think it looks really good. I put some water in here on the side with a little lily pad. There's some more water down somewhere over here as well. Right there. I think this looks really nice. And then it transitions into the brick. And then into here. And we're at the spider farm. And we have lots of string. We actually had a full chest full. And I made a bunch of wool. And I added it into our sorting system. But the nice thing about it is when you stand in here and look out, you don't see any of the green. The green doesn't mess with this at all. And once you get past these stairs right here, you can't see any of the red. I mean, maybe from right here you can, but basically from here on you don't see any of the red, which means the transition is really sharp, but I feel like it actually works pretty well. Now, the really exciting thing, and the thing that we're going to be dealing with a little bit in today's episode, I found when I was moving around in this cave, because a lot of what I have right here is actually natural cave network that I was kind of capitalizing on and then connecting up different areas of cave network together in order to build what looked like a slightly more natural shape. And while I was doing that, while I was exploring, I found something sort of interesting by absolute luck. So let me just eat this fish stick, and then it's down here in this hole. Do you see those? Those are bone blocks. And the reason that these bone blocks, I didn't place these here. These things generated naturally. And the reason that they did that is because this right here is actually a fossil. And fossils, as I understand it, I didn't know a whole lot about them until I started Googling. I knew they existed sort of, but I didn't know a whole lot about them. These are pretty rare. It's a kind of natural underground generation you can get only in swamps and deserts. And I think any given chunk has like a 1 in maybe 64 chance, or maybe even more. I don't remember. It's a pretty small chance of actually finding this thing. But it's pretty cool. I started digging into it a little bit. But what I'm thinking I kind of want to do with you guys now is actually excavate this thing, and then I kind of want to set up like a little build around it. I want to leave it in place. I don't want to dig up any of the bone blocks, but I want to dig up everything around it, kind of like you would with a dinosaur, and see kind of what the shape of this thing looks like. It looks like it might be some kind of rib cage or something. I don't really know, to be honest, but I kind of want to find out. So I'm gonna dig around it, and I might bring you guys back every now and then to kind of show you what I have thus far. But for now, yeah, my plan is to just sort of dig around it and see what we come up with. Sometimes instead of bone blocks, it generates coal ore, and that's fine. I'll dig up the coal ore, but beyond that, I think I'll leave just the bones. Oh wow, this is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording just at least for a little bit, in order to get this thing dug out a little bit more. I want to make sure not to mine any of the bones. I want to leave them in place and not break them. Oh, I fell down. Okay, well, I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Well, guys, this thing is a lot bigger than I expected. It's pretty large. I'm actually fairly impressed. Yeah, look at this thing. I left some stone up there. There we go. Yeah, this thing is really cool looking. So what I'm thinking is we should decorate this place like a really cool excavation site. You know what I mean? I think that sounds like a really, really cool idea. So what I think I want to do is actually dig straight. I mean, what level are we at right now? 46? I wonder what the surface is at. Surface is just right up there. And we're currently at 59. So we're only really going to have to go 10, 15, maybe 20 blocks up. And then we'll be able to basically... What I want to do is dig a giant hole in the ground down to this thing. And I want to fill this... I want to decorate this pit with like sand and maybe some coarse dirt, but also some sandstone, and make it look like we've been excavating this thing from this cool like pit of sand, and maybe like, I don't know, add some other cool stuff in there. I want to make it look like a cool excavation site. Like that's my idea right now. I don't quite know what yet that's going to look like, but that's the idea I'm playing with. So I'm gonna play a little bit longer. Now that I've cleared everything out and I have a better idea of the size, I might start working on trying to get a hole up towards the top ish, and making that hole look a little bit more natural and a little less like a rectangle. And then yeah, then I guess from there we'll see where it goes. Okay, well, this is the hole that I've dug out around our fossil. Man, this thing is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's actually really, really cool. That sort of down there is the cave that we took to find it initially. But I want to dig up around it, and I didn't want to just make it like a straight rectangle, so I kind of added some other like shapes into it to try to vary up the shape of our hole just a little bit. And what I'm thinking I want to do now is I don't like the look of this stone and grass here. I think we need a different look for this area because it's excavation. I'm feeling like sand and sandstone. So I put some sand on the bottom already, and there's actually even a couple pieces of sandstone here and there. What I want to do is replace the walls with sandstone, and then create like piles and pillars of sand and sandstone in some of the corners and edges. And that way it looks like we really dug out this giant pit of sand. And then when we get up to the top, I want to slowly transition. I'm going to have sand on top and let that transition back into maybe like coarse dirt and then grass or something like that. I don't really know yet, but for the time being, I think the next job is definitely turn this into sandstone. So I guess that's what I'm going to start doing now. I've been collecting a whole bunch of sand and sandstone. You can tell because my pick and my shovel are both significantly farther down on durability than they were in the last clip. I went to our mining desert that I got set up a little bit ago, and I just collected a whole bunch of sand and sandstone. Also, I took out my Vanilla Tweaks resource pack was affecting glowstone, and I decided I didn't want it to be. I want the new texture of glowstone, so you can kind of see it there. I'm sure you'll see some other at some point. Hey, Bartleby, how's it going? Anyway, I'm gonna head downstairs to grab some sandstone, because that's what we're gonna need a lot of right now. And I did start a new chest for it. It's right over there in the corner underneath the water bottle. I've got sandstone, and I've got every type, and the stairs and slabs and everything as well. And I've got a pretty fair amount of this stuff, actually. So I'm gonna basically just get to work on trying to, I don't know, I guess fill in all the sides, and I'll probably bring you guys back a little while later when I actually have something worth looking at. Okay, are you guys ready for the reveal? I've successfully done all of the sandstone. I think that this is looking really cool. These vines are still growing in from, like, there's a cave right here that goes up to the surface and a tree over there. And I think, actually, it gives me a good idea. I think I'd like to put some vines around the edges of this thing. I think the contrast of the green and that yellow-tan color of the sandstone looks really good. I made myself a little base up here with a bed. and some chests and some furnaces and all that. And I have some materials of stuff I want to use. I think I want to use jungle wood now that we have it. It has kind of like a worn out quality to it. Looks like a worn out version of oak wood. And I think that'll be cool for our cool little, like, I don't know, desert themed, what's the word I'm looking for? Excavation site. And so, what my idea is right now is I want to just start working on making it look like there's like piles of sand and sandstone pillars and things like that in the corners down there. I want to decorate the walls so they're not quite just flat sandstone. Maybe I'll work in some other types of sandstone or sand in a couple places or who knows what. I just want to start making this place look a little bit nicer, and then yeah, I mean that's my basic idea right now. I think this is looking really good though. I've got ladders in a few different places, partially because I think it looks cool, and then partially because they're actually places I need to get down from. Like that ladder right there is to the cave up there. This one goes all the way up to the surface. This one goes all the way up to that cave. The other thing that I think I want to do, and actually, here, I can't believe I just came down here because I meant to bring with me some of those fences that I made and stuck up in the chest over there. I had this cool idea that if this is an excavation site and what we're trying to do is like preserve the state of the fossil, then what we should do is make sure that it's not going to fall apart by holding up the loose pieces that need to be held up. Like this one isn't being held up by anything at present. So what if we like hold it up like that? I don't know. It's kind of an idea. Just kind of fill out some of the pieces here to make it look, you know, I don't know, kind of cool. That's the idea right now for things that don't have, you know, oh, that's not where that goes. Let's see, that goes there. But yeah, and like my idea right here, oh no, that one I don't need. I feel like even though it doesn't have one under it, the diagonal one is ostensibly connected, like that's part of the bone. So I don't really feel a need to connect that. But yeah, I think that this is actually looking, or at least starting to look really, really cool. Is there any other like loose pieces that we should like be connecting somehow? Let's connect those up together so they look nice and connected. I think that's pretty cool. And then we can maybe just like throw in some other like pieces of like, we'll use like planks, like slabs, and more of these fences in a couple different places to help bring some more color to the build as well. And maybe if there's places where caves need to be held up, I'll use the fences as well for that. But I think that's my basic plan. I'm gonna stop recording for the time being and kind of keep just working on that front and seeing what we can come up with. Maybe adding in some vines. I got some vines because I thought that looked pretty cool. The ladders make a nice decorative block as well. And then maybe having some kind of like minecart system. It's not even going to have like a purpose. I think it's just going to be aesthetic and have the minecarts like zipping around or something. The other thing I really want to do, this is my idea, I won't start working on this quite yet, but I think maybe over here I want to build some kind of like crane that sticks out and is like lowering and raising things, and maybe like, because it's a fossil and sometimes fossils also generate with a lot of coal ore, maybe we're like taking out all the coal ore, or maybe stacks of bone blocks or something like that. I don't really know yet, but I think it would look really cool. Maybe have some stacks of bone blocks in the corners that we're gearing up for shipment or things like that. I think that's a really cool idea, and I really like this project, and I'm so glad we're doing it. And I didn't plan this project at all. I just came across this fossil, and now we're building some cool stuff with it. So let's kind of see where it goes. I'm going to keep working, and I'll bring you guys back in just a little while. I'm in our sorting system right now. I think I'm going to pick up some netherrack just to use as like scaffolding, because I think we're probably going to need some scaffolding for this next bit, and it's actually probably a little bit easier than using dirt. And you can clearly see what is part of the build and what isn't. Not that our build is made of dirt, but is it bright out? It is bright out, okay. So I've still been working a bunch on the excavation site. You can kind of see it out there in the distance. My favorite part, though, and this is something you guys haven't seen yet, is the transition from our spider cave to our excavation site. So this is our nice green lush cave down to our spider farm, which I love. I love everything about this. But then the transition, I was honestly the most worried about this transition right here, about how to transition from sandstone to regular stone. But I just threw in even more green, and I think it really, really worked. I really, really quite like this. The other thing I added, you can hear it right now, is a couple mine carts. He's not doing anything. They're not designed to actually do anything. I just wanted them to look kind of busy. I wanted to add some more life to this build. Speaking of which, there is one more thing we're going to be adding right now in this episode that I think you guys are going to really like. I mentioned it before. I want to make a crane that is like raising and lowering lapis blocks out of the pit, and I think I want to put it right here. This isn't the blocks I want to use. In fact, the blocks I want to use are actually over here. I already prepared them all, so I should go grab them. This should be everything we need, theoretically. We don't need the lapis blocks until the end. And I'm going to get rid of some of this other stuff in my inventory because I don't need it. I'll use that for scaffolding. I'll need this, and for now I'll just use cobblestone. And that should be good enough for the time being. I'll have to mix stuff around on my inventory as we go. But yeah, so this is my idea right here. I already played around with this a little bit in a creative world just to kind of get an idea of a design. And I really like what I came up with, so I thought I would just build it with you guys here on camera and kind of talk to you about what I was doing. So right now I'm building, I guess, what I would call the treads of this crane, and I'm using coal blocks, but they're not really going to stay looking like just coal blocks. They're going to be covered in things like trapdoors and rails and ladders that help make it look even cooler and better. And we'll get to that at the end. Right now I just need it to be something. The next part of the base I'm going to do out of cobblestone and stone brick and cracked stone brick, but for now I'm just going to do it out of cobblestone in order to get the shape, and then I'll come through later and vary up the... Oh, that's not where that goes. Oh, nor did I use the right block. Jeez, I'm off to a great start. But just to begin with, I wanted to get about this much done. And then from here is where it's going to get a little bit more interesting as well. You can see I had the exact perfect number of coal blocks. That'll happen a few different times with this. Let's see, I might have to add some netherrack to the front of this in order to get this stair, because I'm too close to it. I'm adding these stairs that are upside down. Doing the netherrack trick again. I'm just letting you guys be on camera for this because I know I've been doing a lot of off-camera building lately, and I wanted you guys to be able to see me kind of build. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to start raising up the wooden part of this thing, which for me goes like this. Oops, I just fell. Okay, well, that's why I have scaffolding, I suppose. So yeah, this is the next piece that I want to do, and then I think as well, actually, oh, I did too much. There we go. As well as that, I think I'm actually going to keep adding stairs right now, like this, and then from there I'm going to build up with dark oak, because I want a stripe of dark oak in the center, which I think would look pretty cool. And then I'm going to bring back the can I get it? Oh yes, okay, I can get it. Bring back the stairs in here, and it's just supposed to be, yeah, like a stripe of dark oak. And then what I want to do from here is start adding our stained glass. And the way I want our stained glass to work is like this. And then here, let's see. I always hate trying to build with stained glass or just glass panes in general, because you have to be really exact with your placement, and I just would rather not be exact with my placement. So where'd my... There we go. And this right here, we're actually really close to being done with the main body of the crane. We just need to build like the arm, or I don't know what you call it. I think that's how I meant to do it. Let's go down and look. That is actually looking just about exactly how I wanted it to. That's great. Okay, so then the next thing that I need to do is actually get back up there and start working on the next piece. And actually, well, it's getting dark, so I guess I'll sleep first, and then I'll go and do that. I definitely have to be careful about sleeping while I'm working on this project because it gets kind of ridiculous. Okay, so I'm gonna try to build myself up to, well, at least around here. And then I think what I want is, here, let's see, I'm going to need this to begin with from right there. And then this, I think. Yes. Okay. And then from here, I guess, can I place this stair how I want to? Did that place how I want it to? It did. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly how I want to be able to place the stairs. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm alternating the stair blocks and, oh, I almost fell off. I'm alternating the stair blocks and the dark oak, and then I'm actually going to come back through and put stairs on the top as well. And it just puts this line of dark, like stripe of dark oak through our spruce wood, just like we did with the body. I don't remember how far out I'm going, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me actually go check my initial drawing of this, because I don't remember how far out I wanted to go, but I remember really liking the other version. So I'm going to go check that real quick. Okay, so I figured out that I want to do 6, so I need 2 more dark oak blocks. So there's my... Oh, that's not how I want to do it. Good thing I have more than enough stairs. There's a stair, and then go back like that. Add another stair, and then like that, and then it should be from here. Actually, I want to do just a whole block, and then I'm gonna do a slab right there, and from here I want to add my stairs. There we go. Okay, and this, oh, that's wrong. There we go. And then that should all connect like we want it to. Let's actually go down and look. And actually, there was one other thing I realized I wanted to do differently. Is that I actually want to have be another glass pane. And I think that that'll look way better. Oh, look at that. It looks perfect. Okay, now we just need to actually decorate the thing. So what I'm going to do next is add a lot of the decoration bits. And then we're going to do the piece that goes down into the mine. So... first thing first, I'm going to need a whole bunch of trapdoors. And buttons. Actually, let's do the buttons first. I've got some buttons right here. I should need actually exactly 11. I put these buttons around on the dark oak because I thought that looked good. I can't actually reach the other ones right now. I don't know, maybe I can climb this tree? I can climb that tree. Okay, perfect. There we go. Get the rest of the buttons in. Okay, and then the other thing that I want to do is take some rail and just... oh, man, I'm falling all over the place. Okay. I need to get up. Well, I guess then I'll use the ladders. Because what I wanted to do is I decided I wanted to make it look like tracks by putting rail on top of it. But rail can't go down the sides if it's too tall, you know? And so what I decided to do is add ladders because I thought that looked enough like the rail that it would actually look pretty good. So then if I come over here, I can add 2 more ladders just like that. I'll get rid of these netherrack blocks because they're kind of in the way. And I guess I accidentally climbed that vine. That's fine with me. So add the ladders here. And I thought this actually made a really cool effect. I was pretty happy with how this ended up looking. And then the last 2 ladders go over here, and we'll save the 6 rails for later, and we'll start using some of our trap doors. The other thing that I did, because I thought this looked too open and black, I just wanted the black actually as a background, is I wanted the treads to look like this. So I added a whole bunch of trap doors to it, and I'm going to also add trap doors to a couple other places as well. Oh, I get stuck under this tree all the time. Oh, that's wrong. It was really hard to click inside there with the tree where it was. I'm going to have to get rid of these sandstone right here because they're in the way. Perfect. This for me is really working. I like the look of this. The other thing that we still need to do is vary up the cobblestone texture, but I think this is already coming along really, really well. Okay, so let's stick some stone brick in our offhand. and click onto our pick. And I'm going to come over here and start varying up the texture just a little bit. Come over here. See in a few places where I can add some of the brick. I don't want to add a lot of the brick because mostly what I want to have is this stuff and the cobblestone. Kind of like that. That was kind of fun. Can I get up there? Yes, I can. Look at that. Okay. Get that one over there, and then maybe... I feel like that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's a nice little varied texture-based thing. Okay, let's climb up here, and let's start working on this bit. So I'm going to need some netherrack. I'm going to get just a little bit of distance. And then what I want to do is actually place trapdoors on this part as well, like that. And then I can, I guess, work myself over with more netherrack and get those last two. And then actually, you know, it makes me wonder, can I'm going to use that trapdoor to help me parkour. The problem will be is that when I'm holding shift so as to, like, not die, I end up placing another trapdoor on top of the trapdoor because I'm holding shift. So I've just kind of got to hope I don't die, I guess. There we go. Okay, I got all the trapdoors. That's perfect. And then now is for the really hard scaffolding bit. We're going to need to... Oh, I just fell down. Okay. We're going to need to run some oak fences all the way down from that point to whatever height we decide we want our thing at. So I guess what we should do is probably work going upward. So we should start at whatever height we want our thing to be at, and then from there we'll build up until we have what we're looking for. So do I have my oak fences, and I got my slabs, and we'll also have these rail. And I'm going to, not rail, these are the rail. We'll also have the lapis, and this should be everything that we need for the bottom section. There is only one problem with my plan here. I think that I'm going to have to go figure out what that block is to figure out what my center block is. I didn't think about where this thing was going to be centered. I guess this is the best way to try to get up there, is I'll just crawl up the vines. Oh, you're kidding me. There we go, okay. I was kind of worried I wasn't going to be able to get up there. So I finally made it up here. Was a lot easier to do in creative mode than it is in survival. Also, this looks pretty cool. I like our little swamp. We got a taiga over there, and you can see our house. And if I turn to the side, out the corner, you can sort of see what's on the other side of the water, but it goes out of view distance because of Minecraft fog. But anyway, this is our block that we're on. It's negative 902. 273. Well, remember that, because we're going to need that information in a minute here. Negative 902, 273. Is that right? Negative 902, 273. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get this thing figured out. This was certainly a lot easier to do in creative mode than it seems to be in survival. Alright, so I'm standing on negative 902, 273. I'll get rid of that screen. And this is where it's going to be. So from here, I just need to have to kind of decide how tall I want it to be. I think I kind of like this. This seems like a pretty good height to me. And then what I want to do is build out like this. And I kind of have to choose how I want my platform to be shaped. I think I sort of like the shape of this. Oh man, I built this at the wrong height. I needed to make this not directly on top of a block, but I needed to make these upper half slabs. So I guess I have to delete these and try again. And then the next thing that I want to do is put some lapis blocks on here, and then I want to attach them to our thing with rails, make it look like they're kind of tied down or something like that. And then I will take these stair blocks, not stair blocks, fences, sort of like this. I gotta get down from here in order to place that one. And attach them together like that. And then from here is where I will actually start my scaffolding process all the way up. And I like that these oak fences sort of look like rope, like, or something like that, hanging down. That's the idea we're going for here. It looks like I'm almost at the top. And boom, there it is, I'm done. So let me just get rid of my scaffolding here. Oh, I fell all the way. Okay. Well, that's fun. That's not exactly what I meant to do. I forgot that there was nothing underneath that. I thought there was. Perfect. Okay. Let's find a better place to look at this thing. Oh, not there. I already love the look of it, though. Oh, and I already... That's right. I tried doing this before, and it didn't work. I don't know why I thought it was going to work that time. Maybe I should get rid of that slab right there for the future. I'm trying to get lots of good views of this thing, lots of good angles and stuff. Oh, that looks fantastic. I don't like that the netherrack's just sitting there, but beyond that, oh man, that looks good. I think this thing looks great. It's pulling out the lapis ore and blocks and stuff like that, all that cool lapis stuff we found. Is there anything else that I meant to use in my inventory? No, I don't think so. This should be the finished crane, and I think it looks really, really good. I do think I've been debating it, and I am going to get rid of this stupid tree because it's blocking sightline to the crane. It's been annoying me this whole time. I don't think we need it. So we'll just let those leaves despawn. I certainly don't need the saplings. I'm already full on sapling storage inside my sorting system. So not all saplings, just specifically oak. So there we go. I think that looks fantastic. I think that looks really, really good. I think this whole place looks really, really good. I'm so glad we decided to do this episode. It wasn't something that I had planned at all. I just thought, hey, this would be kind of a cool idea to, like, I found the fossil, and then I was like, hey, why don't we make it like a cool archaeology excavation site? And I'm so glad we did that because this has turned out to be one of my favorite builds thus far, and I didn't plan it, like, at all. This is just kind of what happened. And I love this. This thing looks good from just about every angle. Which was important to me. I didn't want it to just look good, like, you know, as a flat image. I wanted it to look and have some 3D, like another dimension to it. I'm super happy with the way this looks. I'm super happy that we're hauling this stuff out of there. I think maybe I might, I don't know yet. I don't actually remember how I did the platform for the one that I made in creative mode. I may make this platform down here just a little bit bigger, but for now this will be what it is. Yeah, I think that's probably going to do it for this episode, though. Thank you all so much for coming and watching. I loved making this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. And here, I'm holding random items in my hands. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this episode. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed it. I can't wait to start doing the other stuff that I do have planned, because this is not at all what I had planned. Here. Oh man, I guess for some reason I always assumed that I took the fish to my mouth when I ate it, but instead I'm just holding it in my hand and then crumbs fall out of my face, which is kind of a weird way of eating. Just to hold food in your hand and then crumbs just start falling out of your face, but your hand hasn't moved. Anyway, I'll stop being so distracting and weird. I cannot wait to keep working on this series with you guys. I'm getting so much joy and fun out of this series, and I hope you guys are too. And I hope that you guys continue to keep being your beautiful selves. I'm going to do the same, and I might do a couple other terraforming bits around this place, but I think in general it looks really good. I can't quite see the... I'll try not to walk off the edge. Here, I'll shift so I can't walk off the edge. Yeah, there we go. There's our fossil. How cool! I think it looks really, really cool. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye-bye. I know I just said I was, like, done with the episode and I just ended and everything, but actually I wanted to correct a quick mistake that I made during the recording process. So I'm recording this after I've already edited most of the rest of this video, and I realized there's a slight gap in what you guys ended up seeing. That's because I accidentally messed up the audio for one of the clips and had to delete it, and it means that I never really explained what the lapis is doing here or what these trapdoors are doing here or a couple other little things. So I want to address some of that real quick. When I placed this bed down here and I saw this really pretty blue color, I thought to myself, oh, that looks really nice against the sandstone, and I started thinking of ways that I could incorporate blue, whether that be, you know, water or who knows what. And some of what that also turned into at the same time as I was thinking about using these um, the creeper face sandstone, like chiseled sandstone blocks, and I was thinking about the way that those looked with the rest of everything. It almost looked like, you know, hieroglyphs in the wall. So I started adding in specific places where I wanted to have like some hieroglyphics into the walls of our little archaeological site here. And then I put some up on the walls and used these trapdoors as, I guess, like a form of scaffolding or whatever, so that you could see these and put like torches all around the hieroglyphs. And I thought that was a really cool effect, and I actually really like the way that it looks. And then while I was thinking about that, I was also thinking about lapis and the color blue, and how hieroglyphs, which remind me of Egypt and just, you know, Egyptian archaeology and things like that, reminded me that lapis is actually it's a real material in the real world, and it was actually super rare and like considered like a treasure among I don't know, like Egyptian culture, because it was really difficult to get blue dye. And so there's even a color called Egyptian blue that is basically this blue, the lapis blue, because the Egyptians really really liked the lapis coloring, I guess, and partially because it was so rare in order to find. Oh, I'm falling. And so I just wanted to kind of explain that that is the reason why I added in all of the lapis. And then I also, the other thing I didn't really mention, or the other thing I mentioned in that clip that got deleted, is I used these fences to kind of hold up the cave walls, as if, you know, we're using the fences to hold them up. And I also put a few more fences holding up the structure of the fossil, and added even more vines. And that's why the lapis is there, because I know initially I had talked about doing like coal, and then I decided on lapis, and I didn't really explain it in what you guys have watched so far, because the clip where I explained it got deleted. In that clip, I also added these path blocks to up here, and also down there. And most of the reason I did it down there is because I had so many light colors. I had the fossil on top of sand, and it all just looked like basically one note. So I added some of the path blocks to darken it up down there a little bit and provide it so you could actually kind of see the shape of the fossil a little bit more. But that's all. I just wanted to add that little bit onto the end of the video. Goodbye for real now, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you all next week when I post my episode on Tuesday. So, bye-bye.